Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, I am the Beard Master. With me today, Iona Colville, she's on her own.
Yeah. That's normal though.
No, that's... you don't have to keep bringing your love life into the show.
Russell's not here to bully me today, so I have to bully myself.
No, don't be like that. Russell's an asshole. You're an asshole, Russell.
You're an asshole, Russell.
How have you been?
I've been great. How have you been?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
It was very hot today, hence I'm wearing a tank top.
I think we're wearing the bare minimum which is allowed between two people who just met each other.
Put your pants back on, Iona.
Oh god, I hate these leather seats. I'm gonna have to rip myself off later.
I'm gonna get some new chairs. I'm gonna get some new chairs for the Beard Cave. I've been shopping around. I went and had a look at some chairs at Bunnings last week.
What about Kmart?
I haven't been to Kmart. I don't really go.
They've got $12 padded cushion chairs, which are really
I'm
small.
going now.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, this is not a stick for Kmart.
Cool. If you and Russell just want to give me $12 each, I'll go and get some chairs.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's fine. I'll get them. Just one at a time, though.
I'm here for my butt safety. I need it to be nice and
those towels, those chairs, they're so shit.
Oh, and the towels don't
They
help.
were meant to be temporary, but it's been nearly 2 years, and it's time. It's time for an upgrade. I get the comfy computer chair.
Yeah, and then Pat brings in his own camping chair and doesn't
Pat brings
bring anything
in
for
his
anybody
own
else.
Camping chair, that motherfucker. That is so rude. So, how's Pokemon going?
I haven't played a lot.
Fuck you.
Just got some spoilers from my sister because I bought her the game about a week ago and she's just finished the Elite Four, so she smashed through it pretty quick.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess it's a lot easier than I thought it was. Maybe I'm just shit, so...
Can I tell you something? I think I'm going to get a Switch.
Yes! Oh,
Yeah.
there's so many games you have to get. Bayonetta, Legend of Zelda... and tomorrow you can pick up the one, the only, the fourth in the series, I'm pretty sure, fifth maybe, the new Super Smash Bros.
I don't know what that is. Isn't it just a fighting game with all Nintendo characters? Essentially.
Yes, and...
And is that it?
It has a storyline, it has a plot line, and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got a new game.
Yeah.
I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Russell would like it because there's lots of Spartans in it, and you can have gay romances as well. So I'm playing as the female character, and my aim is to have a lesbian romance in the game.
You
because
and
it'll
every
let
other
me.
guy.
I'm going to live vicariously through video games.
Yeah, just you and every other guy, isn't it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's probably just... it'll be awkward, or it'll just all fade to black, and I'll be like, yes, I've done it. Do I get a trophy for that?
No.
Last week I did my Mandy show.
Yeah, it was great.
Was it?
I liked it.
It turned out to be a little bit more of a clusterfuck than I originally intended. I had 3 pages of notes, and I realised yesterday that I only read out 2 of them, so I had a whole page of notes that I missed of things I'd researched and written down and all these other things. But yeah, it turned out okay, but it was a motherfucker to edit.
So when you say you missed a few things of your 30 notes where you only read 2, you missed 28.
Yeah, I missed a couple.
Oh, well, it was fleshed out well.
Fine. Yeah, it was.
I liked it.
What did I have? Oh, the number 44 on Red's shirt. His favourite shirt has the number 44 on it. And in angel numbers, I don't know where I found that on the internet. It means your guardian angel is near and providing you with energy and strength to achieve your professional and spiritual aims.
Keep this up.
Yeah, there's another scene where Mandy wears that before she's murdered. Anyway, yeah.
It's just in.
I love that movie. It was a really fucking great movie. I'm looking forward to our Best of 2018 episode in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Which brings up our Christmas break. Let's see, this will be our 3rd last show of the year. Next week should be Into the Spider-Verse. And then the week after that will be Best of 2018, which will probably be our first pubcast down at Tandy's Ale House.
Nice.
Where we can just shoot the shit about all the cool stuff we saw this year and all the stuff we didn't like, i.e. Venom, And have a few fruffies, talk about some bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird when Russell's not here to fill that dead air.
Because he's usually just speaking so much shit that there's
we're
the ones filling in the spots where he takes a breath in and then
he doesn't breathe much though, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Only when he goes to laugh.
He's like one of those frogs where they breathe through their skin. I'm fairly sure. I like that we can insult Russell and he can't say anything back.
Yeah, Russell, delightful. You're a fuckhead. No, I love you, buddy. You're a good bloke.
You're okay, Russell.
Yeah, you're okay, Russell.
Anyway, let's talk about my favourite subject. As being one, I'm a woman.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, we haven't done anything else yet.
No, we haven't done anything else yet, but we're going to lean into it.
I'll let you
No, that's
run
fine.
the podcast.
Seeing as you're a woman, do you want to tell everybody what we're going to be talking about today?
Women.
Women.
That's
because we love them.
Yep, everything. If Russell was here, we'd make him say vagina again.
Yeah, we would. Vagina. Today is a celebration of women on the Bearded Geeks podcast. We inspired by the Captain Marvel trailer, which we'll get to after recommendations and stuff. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about our favourite performances, maybe some of our favourite actresses, you know, favourite video game characters, female video game characters, beg your pardon. Zelda. It was only years ago that I learned that Zelda was actually the princess.
Why would you think Zelda?
I used to watch the cartoon and Link was in it. And
yeah.
He had black hair, and he was a dumb shit.
Still is.
Is he?
No, that's not true.
No. Anyway, we're talking about ladies today, so we're going to talk about some of our favourite performances in films and video game characters, and we're going to talk about women because we love women.
We do.
And you're a woman?
I am.
Last time you checked?
Oh, recently as well. Yeah, no, I consider myself a woman. I don't know what other people consider me, but yeah, I love women and love being one. Okay, this went weird.
Yeah, cool. I thought we were gonna hit some secrets there. I thought you were gonna elaborate a little bit further. And I love being with women and like
the heat's getting.
Do tell.
Oh, so
let's do recommendations.
Yes.
I have a good recommendation this week. Do you have a good recommendation? Oh, actually, before we recommend this week, can we talk about our last recommendations? Can we talk about She-Ra?
Yes. What did you think?
I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
No.
I'm not that far in yet because I'm watching too many other things. I got Batman the Animated Series, digitally remastered Blu-ray box set, so I've been watching Batman episodes. But, yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Oh.
I could see what you're saying about the animation style. It seems maybe they didn't have as much budget, or it wasn't as highly priced as like a Voltron or something.
Yeah,
I've
actually started watching Voltron.
Do you love it? Do you secretly love it on the inside?
It's not hard to love on the outside. Like, I can expressively love Voltron because so many people do. But I noticed in the first season that it actually is more similar to She-Ra's quality. Further along, I haven't watched that far yet, but I've seen, screen caps and stuff like that, that it gets much better, and I'm sure She-Ra would go the same way if it gets more funding, more seasons and stuff like that. Yeah. So it'd definitely evolve the same way that Voltron has.
I'm sure it will too. I liked it, but I could appreciate for what it was, but I really felt like this wasn't for me, like it wasn't aimed at me.
I get it.
But yeah, like I can sit there and watch it and stuff, but like just seeing all these old things they talked about on there, like she was Force Captain Adora and all this stuff. It took me back to the original She-Ra because we had, when we were kids, the first, I think it was 5 or 6 episodes of She-Ra. They made it into a feature film. They re-edited the first 5 episodes into a feature film, which was He-Man and She-Ra: The Secret of the Sword.
Oh.
And they released it in theaters and in cinemas and stuff. And we actually had that. We had that film.
That's interesting because the old She-Ra's on Netflix, and I've started watching that too.
The song that's on the end of the credits?
Yeah.
For the Honor of Love. There's actually a big, long, extended version of that, and it was on the video we had. Like, you watch the whole movie, and then after it, they played the whole music song.
All through
it was
the
like
credits?
3.5 minute music song, music video, and it was fucking epic. I rewatched it on YouTube last week, or after I watched some of the She-Ra episodes and stuff.
Link it to the podcast when you put it up.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's For the Honor of Love. And it took me back to when I was a kid, to like before you were born. And it kind of made me a little bit emotional because, you go back to stuff you watch when you're a kid, and I was like, I was getting a little bit choked up.
Yeah, it's
but it's
good.
a fucking sick song. I want it as my ringtone.
I don't think the new. Keep going. It's
No,
3 minutes long.
sorry.
Yeah, no, I think it does pay homage to the old She-Ra, but it's made its own new thing to spin it towards. It is definitely for a younger audience than my age.
Mm.
But it was
maybe
still good.
even younger.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's just, it's something easy and casual to watch where you don't have to delve too deep into it, and like you can see the references and just enjoy it for what it is.
I like when I was watching it, the animation style felt more like a Steven Universe or something like that. Yeah.
It's just a lot flatter colors, but it makes
a little
it
more
bright and sparkly.
little more exaggerated in that as well. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I
fun
definitely
though.
get it.
She-Ra, Princesses of Power. Give it a go.
Watch it.
I haven't got to Hordak yet though. Haven't seen him.
Oh, Hordak's cool.
Yeah.
He looks a lot better than the old She-Ra.
He snorts a lot in the original. He's like,
yeah, I watched it. I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I was like, made sense.
what's the lady's name in the red cloak again? I forget her. She's the bad guy. Fuck, what was her name?
Wait, are you talking about the new She-Ra or the old She-Ra?
She had the same name in both ones.
Oh god, it's something. I've got no clue.
I forget her name.
Yeah, so have
but
I.
you watch her like in this new one, and then you go back to the 80s where it had like kind of not realistic animation, but all the ladies in that were all very voluptuous and whatever, and just like they're pretty much naked but painted on like outfits.
I think her name's just the Sorceress, isn't she?
No, she's
Sorceress
not the
something.
No, she's not the Sorceress. She's the bad guy one, and in the original She-Ra, she's like Hordak or whatever.
Well,
I can't remember what her name is.
Okay.
I don't have my phone. I can't look it up. Anyway, it's kind of fun.
It is.
Mm.
Something easy to watch.
Seeing as I just talked for 5 minutes, you want to give us your recommendation for this week?
Okay. I have a book series.
Oh,
Margaret Atwood. Have you heard of her?
I think
The Handmaid's
I have.
Tale.
Oh yes, The Handmaid's Tale. Yes,
So
yes.
her style of writing is very poignant views on society, which are like expanded, exaggerated. So, you got The Handmaid's Tale where like lots of laws have overridden women and stuff like that.
That show and the original movie, because I watched the original movie from like the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, the world that the people live in is it's brutal. It is brutal.
And it's like an exaggeration on how we are now. Like, I'm not getting political or anything like that, but it's a point of view from a woman who's seeing the rules that are being laid out for women now and how it could turn out. That's what she does. And in the Mad Adams series, it's a very sci-fi oriented story because it features genetics and like overuse of the world and stuff like that. It's a really great series. It's the Mad Adams series. It's good. I mean, I've never read anything like it before, and everything, there's no plot holes. You can't like go, what, but why is this happening? And because she explains it all. Everything's explained in such a nice way that it makes sense, and it's just, I like it a lot, and I think it's like really interesting.
What's kind of the general plot of the...
Oh, okay.
Just
so
the basic
it's
plot.
Based on this man, Jimmy, who lives with these genetically modified humans, as he goes back over his story of how he got to being there, how his world is now, what caused it, and how he was as a kid, the world he was living in then, and as an adult now, what's happened, and like the consequences of all those actions and stuff of the world. Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a guy recounting his life.
Sort of, but then it becomes more... So the first book is the
and
recounting...
it gets to the point where he is now and then continues on.
Yeah, so the second and third book really bring it into the present tense and stuff like that, and it gets up to speed. Yeah, it's a long read, but it's worth it.
How many books are there?
3.
Is that like complete or are they still going?
No, they're complete. That's all it was, a trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Recommend it. Margaret Atwood, the Mad Adam trilogy.
And The Handmaid's Tale, watch it.
And the book's good too.
It's tough.
Reading is good for you kids.
Yeah, reading is good for you, but watching TV saves a lot of time.
You've got a point.
Like The Dark Tower, for example. I'm a big fan of those books, but don't sit down and watch the 90-minute fucking movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't like the movie?
I kind of did, and I kind of made myself like it a little bit, but yeah, it's not you just got to read those books.
How is there 9 books? No.
There's 7.
7?
There's 7 books. There was another book written about 7 years ago, which is kind of like set between books 4 and 5.
Yep.
It's the main characters get stuck in like a barn during a storm, and then Roland, who's the main character and stuff, or one of the main characters, kind of the protagonist of the series, he sits down and kind of just tells a couple of campfire stories. So he tells a campfire story, but then in that story, another character's telling a story. So it's a story in a story.
How meta.
In a story. Yeah.
So I know the ending of The Dark Tower.
I do too.
BS.
'Cause I've read it. Don't spoil it for anyone.
I'm not spoiling it, but I'm just saying it's BS, and I like the movie a lot.
Is the thing? Yeah, I kind of like.
And you can't read the books after you've know about the spoiler. I think it's
yeah,
been
you
ruined
can't.
for
Like
me.
I read them all front to back. I like to read at night. I like to read when I go to bed because I have to have everything quiet. I can't have any distractions.
No.
I have to just be completely lost in a book. And I got to a point when I was reading the last book, which is obviously probably nearly the biggest book. No, 4 is the biggest. Anyway, I would go to bed early. I would go to bed at like 7 at night and read till like 3 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I would read for like 6 or 7 hours straight. And then when I got to the end of the book and I found out the ending and I finished the book and then I sat there for a second, I was like, that was the only way it could have ended.
Yeah.
Like being there from the beginning and reading through all 7 books, that was the only way it could have ended.
Yeah,
and I'm happy with that ending.
Yeah?
Mm.
Did you kind of expect it? Like, did you think, if you had, like, thought up a few different possibilities for the ending, did that come across it, or?
No, well, I honestly didn't know. Like, I had no idea, like, what's going to happen is, you know, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruin it, but,
How long
you know,
have the
and
books been out
the
for?
Crimson King's there in the tower, and what's going to happen with that, and Mordred Deshane, and yeah. But there's a short story as well, I forgot. There's a short story, The Little Sisters of Illyria, which is set before all of the books, which Roland comes across vampires,
Oh.
and it's fucking sick. And heaps of comics from Marvel as well. There's like 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 trades. A lot of the stuff that's talked about in the books, but it's only kind of breezed over. It's fleshed out a lot more in the comics and stuff. But yeah, they're pretty good. I've got them all.
That's cool.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
So that was a good recommendation. My recommendation for this week, I was in EB Games the other day, and I was flicking through the games, and I found this game, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this kind of looks cool, and I put it down, and then I got home that night, and I did a bit of research, and I was like, this seems pretty cool. I kind of want to play this game. So I went back the next day, and I bought it, and that game is called Darkest Dungeon, and it came out in 2016. It was what was it? It was a Kickstarter game, I think. It was a Kickstarter game. It's from Red Hook Studios. I think they're based out of Canada, and they're a 9-person team, and it's like it's a dungeon crawler. It's like a side-scrolling dungeon crawler RPG, but it is fucking brutal. It is absolutely fucking brutal. It was like one of the hardest games I've ever played. It's like if you had to compare it to something, compare it to Dark Souls, but it's so much worse. Like you can play it. Like the gist of the story is, your father or your grandfather or one of your father figures or whatever. He has his house. He's rich. He's a rich motherfucker. Gets bored with being rich. Finds out that there's something deep and dark under his home and spends all his money trying to find it. And then he opens to a fucking dimension of bad shit. Think of like H.P. Lovecraft and Cthulhu and tentacle monsters and
Nice.
all the bad, horrible things, you know, that live in the dark. And then he writes a letter to his son or whatever and like, come back, reclaim your birthright, rid us of all this shit that I've unleashed.
That's why you were born, son, to clean up my messes. Enjoy.
So you get back and you kind of have like this little town and everything's run down and that. And as you go, you can upgrade and build everything back up. But when you play with like a little 4-person squad and you've got to take into account like food. You got to take food with you because you have to eat, because if you run out of food, you know, there'll be a notification come up after a while and go like, you need to eat. Press X to eat if you've got the stuff, or press circle to starve. If you hit the starve button, you got no food, your health goes down, And fear comes into it as well, because you have like a fear meter. Like all characters have fear meters, and they all have different quirks and all these. Like if they're religious characters, you can come across like a religious type bad guy, they can get scared. And if your fear meter fills, they can go insane.
Jesus.
And then if the character's like near death, they can be so scared that they'll have heart attacks. So it's like your character's had a heart attack, they're dead, permadeath.
Jesus.
And you get like all this shit, like I fucking come across a grave. It's like, do you want to check out this grave? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Boom, there was bad things in it. I got syphilis. One of my characters got syphilis, but it's absolutely fucking brutal game. It's super involved though. There's a lot of stuff in there you got to learn. It's a matter of just kind of playing it. And so it's a dungeon crawler. All the dungeons are kind of just like procedurally generated. And everything's kind of stacked against you. So, you're in bad shape when you first start. But yeah, you go through, and like when your characters and shit get scared, like after you've done a quest or you abandon a quest, if you don't finish it, you can send them to the abbey, and you've got to put them in for a turn. So, they can pray. If they're a religious character, you put them in there so they can pray and their fear will go down. Or if, they like drinking, you take them to the tavern, you give them drinks, or there's a brothel, you send them to the brothel.
Nice.
Or, there's a sanatorium you can unlock later in the game to get rid of, like, different quirks and stuff. Like, I've only been playing it a couple of days, and it is super involved, so I'm kind of still learning it. But yeah, I really dig it, and it's super fucking brutal. And the opening film clip, the opening like cutscene goes for like 2 minutes. It's before you even start the game. It's about the father, and he's telling the story of all the shit I said. But he there's like narration through the entire game as you play it. And like when you get attacked or you kill enemies and that, it's like send them back to the abyss and all this sort of shit. But it's a really, really cool game.
That's good.
It's really fucking hard. And it's really involved. But if you like that kind of thing, I definitely recommend it because it's available on Steam. You can get it on the Switch now. It is available on the Switch. I've got it on the PS4. I bought a physical copy, and I have it on the PS4. And yeah, I dig it. But if I get a Switch, I want to get it on the Switch, so I kind of take it with me on the go, so I can spend a bit more time on it. Is it
multiplayer or is it just single player?
It's single player, yeah. It's single player, so you have a 4-character team and you got to go through and...
Be cool if you could, in the future get 4 different players, in, Wi-Fi or locally. And
and you would have to work as a team, yeah. Yeah, and there are different size quests and that as well, so you can do shorter dungeons or longer dungeons. Eventually... your quest is to get to the darkest dungeon. So, I'm starting out, I'm all level 1 characters and that. And if your characters die, there's there's a wagon. So they say at the start, there's adventurers and all this stuff coming here looking for glory. So as you upgrade it and that, you can get 4 new characters a day, and you just add them to your list. So as they die, and you can go to the graveyard. There's a graveyard where you can go and visit all your dead characters.
Aww.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's super involved. It's really fucking hard. I saw this video of this guy playing it. He was fighting a boss, and it was like a Twitch stream play. There was a little video of him in the corner playing, and he was like, "No, don't you dare!" And this guy killed his 2 characters, and he fucking snapped. He's like, "No, fuck this!" And he smashed his keyboard. He snapped it in half, and I'm like, that guy's dedicated to this game.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's really cool. The art style is really cool. A 9-person team made it. I don't know how they did it. It's super fucking involved. But they're still bringing out content. They still have Kickstarters and that going. So there's they brought out a new character. There's another DLC. There's a DLC out, and there's another DLC on the way. But yeah.
Worth it? Worth buying more DLCs or?
Yeah, I got the pack. I got the physical copy has the first available character in the first DLC pack with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you really get into it and you really dig it and you want to spend time on it, on the PS Store, I think they're only $14.95, the extra DLC packs and stuff. But yeah, you could play it for fucking forever.
Wonderful.
Yeah. There's a trophy on there. It's get to week, 100, because every quest you play is a day, or is it a week? I think it's a week, or it might even be a day. I don't know. I think it's a day. I can't remember. Like I said, I've only been playing it for a couple of days, but yeah, I dig it. It's really cool. It's frustrating and it's hard, but I dig it. and I totally recommend it.
Well, this is a much greater recommendation than last week's podcast.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I wonder if people got that.
Yeah. Blue Life Forgiveness. Let's talk about the news. I have only 2 bits of news. Did you see the Lion King trailer?
Yes.
The live-action Lion King trailer.
Yes.
How
So good.
How do you feel about the live-action Disney films?
For starters, it's not live action, it's CGI animation. Live action would be having actual animals do the actions. That is
so.
It live.
That is actually so true.
Have you seen so many comments of that? It literally drives me up the wall. Like, look how cute Simba is. Shut the fuck up and just enjoy baby Simba. Like,
but the other ones are live action. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and that. You know, we just
you're just gonna get a baboon to like lift up a baby lion without like ripping it apart or throwing it.
Yeah.
Sure.
These movies are just an obvious cash grab. How much money did Beauty and the Beast make? Fucking a lot of money, I think. I saw Cinderella at the movies. I took my Julie to see it. That was
Was
pretty,
that the
pretty
one,
good.
the girl who has the dark, thick eyebrows? What's her name?
I don't know.
Trying to
Girl with
think.
the dark, celebrating women. I don't know what her name is. Jesus.
We don't know any of the women we're going to talk about tonight. Enjoy.
Here's my thing about the Lion King
Yeah.
trailer, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the animated movie, obviously.
No. Yes, I have.
I was gonna say, what? That movie is perfect, you could say.
Yeah, classic.
If not perfect, it is very near perfect.
A lot of the first Disney movies are like that. I mean, you can't say that they'll...
When they had, like, their 90s resurgence.
I mean...
Because they were down and out, like, in the 80s and shit.
Yeah, I mean, Lion King, you know, Mulan...
Aladdin.
Pocahontas,
Beauty and the Beast.
They were all OG. They were all super good movies. But, like, I agree. I don't think I've seen anybody who's seen The Lion King and hated it. Like, you can't say, oh, this is shit. All these animals talked. How dumb. Like, no. You haven't heard a single person ever speak negatively about The Lion King.
No, I don't think I ever have, to be honest.
And the only criticism was about the new trailer was that it's not live action, it's CGI animation.
Who cares?
That's the only negative thing I've seen about it. It's not even that bad.
That's only neckbeards getting fucking technical in the comments or whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Anyway, my problem is the original film is perfect. Let's say, for lack of a better term, it is perfect. It's pretty much flawless. I've seen that movie a lot. I saw it when I was a kid. I know all those lines, like when Mufasa's sitting up on the hill with Simba, you know, everything the light touches is our kingdom, and all those lines. I remember exactly how those lines are delivered and how perfect they are.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones
is going to be in the new one. How good is that?
And he's a lot older in this one, and he's repeating these lines, and they're nowhere near as good. Like, they're fine, they're good. But they're just not as good as the delivery he gave like 25 years ago when he first recorded the animated film. No, it's just, you know, it's just felt more impactful and it's just delivered. It's not saying detriment because he's older or whatever, but just the way he delivered it, it was just perfect. And that's how I picture Mufasa. And I'm just like, I understand like the live action thing is a cash grab or whatever. And yeah, it'd be cool to see this kind of version of The Lion King, but it's not going to hold a candle to the original, so, like, why bother? But then it's a cash grab, so it's easy money.
Yeah, I think it's just seeing... You know, I always thought about this as a kid, but I realized that one day everybody's going to run out of ideas and we're just going to see remakes, and I didn't realize I'm already living in that time. I thought I was going to be 50, but, it's going to be the exact same thing. You're right, I'd love to see... if they creatively make any difference apart from, you know, Seth Rogen being Pumbaa, but like...
Yeah, I mean...
oh my god.
Jon Favreau is a pretty great filmmaker, and it'll be interesting to see what changes he may make, or what additions he may make to that story. So, that I'm interested in. Like, if he makes a change that improves this film, like, that's great. I'm okay with that. But, like, I don't really get too excited for these Disney live actions. Like, I kind of, like... I see the point, like, for the company, like, financially. But, like, I kind of don't see the point. They're kind of pointless movies. Let's just make live action versions because people will go see them and we'll make a lot of money. But this one kind of tickles my interest, only because I like the original so much and I kind of want to see the whole live action thing. But the Disney movie, the live action Disney movie that's kind of intrigued me the most is Aladdin. When the Aladdin trailer came out like a month or two ago, probably 2 months ago now. But that kind of intrigues me. Will Smith as a genie, obviously, but I'm sure if Robin Williams was alive, they probably would have maybe got him to come back. Maybe, who knows?
Probably.
But I kind of like the look of that movie. That intrigues me. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to go see that. I'll go see The Lion King, but yeah, The Jungle Book didn't do anything for me. I've seen Beauty and the Beast. That was
they made
fine.
another CGI The Jungle Book?
Yeah, Mowgli.
It's so ugly. The animals all have human faces and I hate it.
It's coming out on Netflix in like...
tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
7th of December.
Well, tomorrow then. Well, we can watch it tomorrow night. We can bitch about it in the Best of 2018 episode.
No, thank you.
But yeah, are you excited for this?
For which one are we talking about now?
Lion King.
Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, I actually really can't wait to see it.
More than Detective Pikachu?
Well, I'll have to fill in the time somehow. It's so long till it comes out. Yeah, I think you know what? As much as I say I'm really interested in seeing it, I might wait for it to come out on the internet and illegally watch it because
wow.
Yeah, that's just what I do. I don't have a lot of time. If I really want to see something, that's the only time I'm gonna like make space for it. Like Detective Pikachu's gonna get it, but I'm not so like for The Lion King. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is gonna get it. I'm gonna go see that. I already have fallen in love with it.
Yeah, it's out. It's out next week. I think Pat and I are gonna mandate it next week.
12th of the 14th of December, I think it is.
We might book in and maybe go see it next Thursday night or something because we've got to get a show out. So
nice.
So yeah,
yeah.
Talk to him about that.
Well,
but yeah, Lion King. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a yeah on my part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I might see it. Say if somebody else wanted to see it.
And Beyonce does the voice of
Nala. Can't wait. I think it's a really good voice cast. I know people are like, oh, you can't get over the original voices and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure Michael J. Fox voiced adult Simba.
No, it was not Michael J. Fox.
Who did Michael J. Fox voice in Disney?
No, he was it Treasure Planet?
Oh, that's who he was.
Oh no, it was Atlantis. It was Atlantis.
Oh, was he Milo?
Treasure Planet was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah, and Michael J. Fox did Milo in the Atlantis movie. I'm not sure about the sequel though. Was there? There was a
sequel. It wasn't as great.
It was a straight to video.
Oh, yikes! Yeah.
Matthew Broderick did the voice of adult
Oh,
Simba.
that's who I'm thinking of. I was mixing those two up with Back to the Future and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And Kid from Home Alone not Home Alone, Home Improvement did the voice of Kid Simba.
Oh.
Because he just can't wait to be king.
No, that's so cute. I love that. I can't wait to see like the little scene of that when he sings I Can't Wait to Be King, because the colors and like all of that scene was fantastic.
Are they going to translate that though into...
They're
kind of just going to do like a realistic version of kind of that color palette and stuff?
Oh, I don't
It'd be
know.
horrible because it's like pinks and...
oranges. I was like, it was vibrant. It was like kaleidoscope parts as well. Like,
I'm just waiting for Timon and Pumbaa and Hakuna Matata.
Oh
How's that going to
god,
go?
isn't it Billy Eichner as Timon?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh god,
Billy on the street.
Let's go, lesbians. Let's go. Oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen that scene, but oh boy, perfect for our women podcast. Let's go, lesbians. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Can't beat the original Timon voice. Who was that? Do you know?
Nathan Lane.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
it's too good. And Zuzu.
Zuzu was Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, I know. Is he gonna voice Zuzu again? I'd love.
No, who does it?
No,
I don't have my phone. I thought it was like Stephen Colbert or something like that. No, it wasn't Stephen Colbert. No, it's a comedian of some description, I believe.
Oh, it's a shame. Like, so much of the Lion King cast is still alive. They really could have remade it and just done it again. Like, not like all of them, obviously, but the classics, like you got Zuzu and Mufasa, which is great because they've got Mufasa. And Timon and Pumbaa, like Nathan Lane, he'd still be alive, right? I've got no clue who he is.
I'm waiting to see what Scar looks like and Chiwetel Ejiofor, how he sounds. Because Jeremy Irons did a fucking great job as Scar in the original.
Imagine if they make The Lion King 2 and they get Kovu out again. That was my first
I liked
animal crush.
The Lion King 2.
Yeah, I know, so did I. And Kovu was hot. I'll admit it, that lion was hot.
Wow. Is that your...
So I said that to somebody the other day and they're like, oh, you're a furry. I was like,
Yeah.
no, that's
your
not what I
furry
am.
thing. If someone come dressed up as like a anthropomorphic Kovu.
That's not going to do it for me. It's Kovu the lion.
Yeah. Who did the voice of him in that? It was someone famous.
Oh, it was someone sexy.
And they got what's her name from Scream to do the voice of the girl. What's her name?
Kiara.
Kiara. Yeah, Kiara.
I'm actually doing pretty well on the Lion King names.
You're doing pretty
impressed
good.
with myself.
I'm going to have to get you in for our Disney show. We maybe will do now because you know so much about Disney.
Oh, I know somebody else who knows about Disney and they love it.
Who's
somebody
that?
who denied to do this podcast tonight.
Oh, Jake Bayless.
Yeah, he loves Disney. He's so excited to see Aladdin and all of that. Definitely got to get him on.
Cool. All right, Disney show with Jake Bayless.
And maybe me, because I love Disney too.
And maybe you too, if you've got time.
I'm always free.
Whatever.
Ah.
Yeah. Our inspiration for the show tonight was the new Captain Marvel trailer.
Yes.
How good was that Captain Marvel trailer? It was pretty cool.
After the teaser of Captain Marvel being on the bus with that old Skrull woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I come so excited. It was so good. Oh, I loved it. And you know what I especially love? Seeing Samuel L. Jackson CGI'd 40 years younger. They've actually pulled it off.
How good does that look though? Because it's been progressively getting better as the Marvel movies have gone.
So much better than Henry Cavill's mustache being CGI'd out of the Justice League movies.
Yeah, well they didn't finish that. If they had more time to do it, it would have been flawless.
Oh,
but...
it wouldn't have taken that long for one little mustache, surely.
Yeah. Who did they start with? They started with Robert Downey Jr. They did bloody Michael Douglas in the first Ant-Man. In the second one, Michelle Pfeiffer in Ant-Man and the Wasp is I would dare say faultless. But there's one scene with Michael Douglas. He kind of turns weird and he kind of has like that CGI face wobble. It's kind of where he's like. It's okay, and then his head gets to a certain point, it's like, boom, the like immersion's broken, like you can see the CG. But Michelle Pfeiffer in the scene where they flash back to where she first goes, it's fucking near faultless. But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson in this, it's like they got in a fucking time machine, went back to 1994, like grabbed him just when he come off the set of Pulp Fiction, and said, come on, Sam, we're gonna go do this.
He looks gorgeous. And he's got his eye. I can't wait. Apparently he loses his eye, may lose his eye in this movie, and people are really excited to see how it happens.
I'd imagine he probably would lose it in this movie, I reckon.
Yeah, because people are like, you saw Chewie, the cat, right? That's Captain Marvel's cat, named after Chewbacca.
they've changed the name of the cat.
What?
In the movie.
Oh, what's his name?
Because in the comic run from the last
he's an alien, right?
10 years. That's right. He's an alien who just happens to look like a cat. He has human level intelligence. I don't know. He can spit fucking acid and shit. And
his name's
other
Chewbacca because he's furry.
Yeah, his name's Chewie in the comic, but in the movie they've renamed it to Goose.
Why?
As in like a Top Gun reference because she's a fighter pilot. So Goose.
So we're not getting the
Goose
cat
was
of
a
our
pilot
dreams.
and co-pilot in Top Gun. Yeah, so we're not getting Chewie. So that's a little bit... That's too close to Star Wars, I guess. They could do it.
They could have
fucking
changed...
Disney owns it all.
They could have changed the name, but I wish they... Do you reckon they might still have him being the alien cat that he is?
You fucking want to be.
Oh, he better. That was like the main pivotal point that I was excited for with Captain Marvel, is seeing her interactions with Goose.
Well, I mean, they did a talking tree and a talking raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, it shouldn't be too hard
and everyone went mad for that. So if you just have a regular cat that just happens to be an alien, I think that's going to be okay. If they can just justify it to regular folk, not us bloody comic book nerds, because we don't care. We love that shit.
Yeah, anyway, I am super excited to see it. It looks... I don't know, what's the word? Not overwhelming, but excitedly, like there's going to be so much. It's going to like make me implode internally. Like, I'm loving the whole lost memories being it. I don't know the Captain Marvel story. Obviously, I got what I could from the trailer, but like, I only know about a cat really. But, but you know, the whole where she's taken to because she's taken to a different planet and she becomes like their guards, like their guardians or like a level of police. Or
as I recall, she becomes half Kree.
Yeah.
So, which is why this movie's set in 95, and she's going to be in the next Avengers movie, and she hasn't really aged because she has a longer lifespan. She doesn't age as fast as normal people in that do now. But, it's going to be interesting to see sort of her power, like her binary powers, because we've seen a lot in the MCU. We've seen a lot of different stuff, but we haven't really seen anything like this yet.
Her glowy girl
like
power.
Firing energy out of hands, like old school comic book firing energy out of your fists.
Yes.
And the helmet, I like how they got the helmet in, but it's like Star-Lord's helmet, so it can come off and on.
Nice.
And it just gets her hair up in the mohawk. So you still get the mohawk, and you still get the long hair, and you get the helmet. But
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Have I got it wrong? Is she fighting the Kree or the Skrulls?
She fights for the Kree, but she's going to be fighting the Skrulls.
Yeah, I was trying to think of who the bad guys are, because I think it's the Skrulls. I may have just been confusing myself.
I imagine...
There's Kree have never been bad, have they?
Except for Ronan the Accuser in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, who is back in Captain Marvel.
So that's where I've heard it again. Oh, and he's back in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, there's a shot of him in this trailer from the back on. You know how he has like his metallic hood?
His big black hood, yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Sorry.
That went through my head too. I was like, haha, that could have changed. That last word got you there. Disgusting.
It's funny about the Skrulls because Marvel kind of don't do anything half-assed. If they put something in a movie, generally it's going to come back in another movie. So I imagine after the whole Thanos thing in Avengers 4, perhaps the Secret Invasion movie, because there was a book from several years ago where we found out that the Skrulls had secretly invaded Earth, and taken over a lot of different heroes and stuff. So, impersonating a lot of different humans and
my first
kind of like a Body Snatchers kind of storyline.
My first Deadpool comics was him fighting the Skrull, and they take half of his DNA and it fucks them all up. Like they are so overwhelmed by Wade's DNA that it just kills them all. Like it's the way he wins.
Yeah.
So that's my first ever. Well, the first Avengers they fight the Skrulls, or
in the first Avengers they fight the Chitauri.
Not to be racist, but there's too many aliens in this game, in this whole movie franchise. Like, stick to one and let them in, and that's it.
It's funny because the whole buying Fox and getting back the Fantastic Four and X-Men and Deadpool, the Skrulls are mainly a part of kind of like the Fantastic Four universe.
Oh.
But I think in those rights, unless they got the Skrulls back, it was just Super Skrull. Like in the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four go up against the Super Skrull, which is a Skrull which has like a lot of like all the powers of all the Fantastic Four. So he was kind of like one of the more imposing villains. But I think maybe that's all that was attached to the Fantastic Four rights. Maybe. I don't know. Rights are weird.
Yeah, it's so odd. I hate like not knowing where I'm looking at, the X-Men. I like that it's kept separate, but at the same time I'm like, wait, so it's like happening together and like not at the same time. Cool. I'm confused. I'm a very simple girl, very simple mind. Me, I only know one alien species at a time. But yeah, actually, you know what? I am just really enjoying delving into the MCU universe. I was really young when the first few movies came out for like, the first
Iron Man
Man and stuff like that. Like I completely missed Eric Banner's skull.
Hulk. That was
skull. I don't know what
Hulk. That was 2003.
Yeah, I lived in Romania then. I had no clue what was going on. It was not in English. Clearly.
Romania.
Yeah, Romania.
The vampires in Romania.
I went to Transylvania. I went to the castle.
No shit.
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, my mum brought back this like little vampire puppet, and it had eyes glowed in the dark, and somehow she thought we'd be okay with it being in the corner of our room.
Wow.
With its glow in the dark eyes.
That's pretty cool.
Terrifying.
I want it.
I don't think so.
Damn it.
It may have been burnt.
Just pour like
a lot of
garlic
fluid.
He's got like a jar of garlic, just scraping it out.
That thing was demonic. That wasn't a normal puppet.
That's cool. Romania, Transylvania.
Yeah, just a humble brag.
Wow.
Yeah, I was too busy being in Romania, being 5, to watch the Hulk.
Hulk was pretty cool at the time. The ending, it was pretty out there.
I want a new Hulk movie. I want a solo Hulk movie.
You're not gonna get a solo Hulk movie though.
God damn it!
Because that's another rights issue.
Really?
So yeah, Paramount Pictures, I believe, own the rights for solo Hulk films.
Oh my god.
Which is why we don't get any more solo Hulk films. We just get, but they're not allowed to do a solo Hulk film unless they pay Paramount lots of money.
But I love Mark
Paramount
Ruffalo.
chips in for it. But they can't. They can do. Have Hulk appear in.
all
other
the
movies,
Avengers and stuff,
and Thor and all those sort of movies.
Bullshit. I want Mark Ruffalo to have his own origin story. Imagine if they CGI'd Mark Ruffalo to be 20 years younger. Yes! Oh, man. I'm going to think about this later tonight.
If they did like a 5 or 6 limited series Hulk show on the Disney streaming app.
Yeah, they could, because they're doing Loki. Who else?
I don't know how that would work though. Maybe they couldn't do solo movies, but maybe TV shows. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. I'd love to see that. It'd be so good. I mean, that's all I'm thinking about now. Let's change the episode to Mark Ruffalo.
Let's talk about Mark Ruffalo's filmography. So, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, 13 going on 30?
I can't think of any more Mark Ruffalo
I'm trying to
movies.
think. I've seen him in one. It was a very odd, movie. It's gone from my mind.
Weren't we talking about women?
No, we were talking about Mark Ruffalo. I distinctly remember that from the start. You were going to hold up for your socials picture Mark Ruffalo at the end. You have a figurine, right?
It's a blow-up doll, actually.
Oh, can I borrow it?
Yes, you can borrow it. Jesus.
Oh, anyway, we were talking about women. We were talking about Captain
women.
Marvel.
Captain Marvel, very powerful female figure now in the MCU. We already had Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, who's going to get her own movie as well.
Oh, is she? I was going to say, I've got to say, I think
she's
MCU,
getting paid a fuck ton of money for that too.
I really think the MCU let down Black Widow. Wait. Yes? Is that her superhero name?
Black Widow, yeah.
Thank God. I thought I was being an idiot again. No, they really let it down. Having relationships. You know how forced it was? In Avengers, what was it? Avengers 2?
Age of Ultron.
God! Having having the Hulk and having... Oh, I hated it.
It was the worst. It was the worst part of that movie.
Yes.
It was very forced. The only reason it was in there is because Joss Whedon couldn't figure out anything to do with those two characters for that film.
That's the point. You don't need to.
Let's just chuck them in a romance.
Nope. So that's the thing. That's why we talk about women, because women...
And the Russo brothers hated it when they did Civil War and Infinity War. So they're like, we hated that, which is why in Infinity War you get that tiny little tag where they see each other again after a couple of years, and then Falcon breaks the tension by saying this is awkward.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away, and then that's it.
They really just did it an justice on her, like having her with Hawkeye.
Are you drunk? No, not with Hawkeye. They have like a brother-sister relationship.
No, weren't they together in the first Avengers?
No.
Oh, God, I am
Child.
so long ago. But anyway, I think they made her too bland a character. Kristen Stewart Bella Swanned her like in Twilight.
That's a very harsh criticism.
Look, it's the only reference I can think of. I'd say, obviously, Scarlett Johansson's done better, but they've put her on the same lines of giving her no background story. They're like, oh, she was a spy. She did all this kind of stuff. She was, was she a spy? That was the thing.
She was a Russian spy before she defected to the United States.
What movie was it? It was Age of Ultron, where Scarlet Witch puts them back in their memories and mucks around with their brains, where she's back at the academy. That's the only thing I think I've remember or can reference to her past.
There's a few other things in that as well. She talks about like the Winter Soldier and stuff. I think maybe that's where that movie is going to take place. I don't know. Don't quote me. I have no idea about the Black Widow movie, to be honest.
Hopefully they make it up and give her what she deserves.
She's a badass character, though.
Yes.
The scene in Infinity War where Proxima Midnight is going to kill Scarlet Witch, and And she's like, oh, you'll die alone or whatever. And then you get that line from Scarlett Johansson. She's like, she's not alone. And she turns around and Scarlet Witch is there and Okoye is there. And you get like all these badass women that have this awesome fucking fight scene. And
Fuck,
yeah.
Okoye has to be my favorite MCU. She's a superhero. I don't give a shit. She's a superhero. Her and Shuri.
Shuri.
No, her and Shuri.
Shuri stole Black Panther.
And
did you
so
know
did
that
Okoye.
Shuri in the comics actually becomes Black Panther at one stage?
Nice. There's a female Iron Man too, which I'd love to see in the
There
future.
is.
A nice young woman.
Riri Williams.
Yes.
Who was in the books. She's a fan of Iron Man, and she pretty much just builds her own Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And she becomes Iron Heart. And everyone's saying, like, with like Robert Downey Jr. and stuff, like, eventually he's going to get to a point where, he's too expensive to keep getting back for films, and he doesn't want to do it anymore, or they come to a natural place in the story where it's good enough time to send off, Tony Stark, so they're like, who would be the next Iron Man?
I would love to have Riri Williams.
Iron person.
Yeah.
Why not have Shuri become Iron Man instead of having Riri?
Well, because
have Shuri become Iron Heart.
I think it's much better than everybody getting mad or certain individuals getting mad that they've replaced Riri Williams' character at all by putting another strong black woman in her position, which is like the same, because it makes sense. Shuri's so good with technology. She's got way more advanced technology.
It's already been established that she is the smartest character in the MCU.
Yeah, so
she's smarter than Tony Stark and Bruce Banner.
It makes sense that she should be the next Iron Man. Iron Heart, or I don't know, whatever she wants to be. I think it would be awesome to see that.
That would be sick. There was a set photo of Gwyneth Paltrow from Avengers 4, and she is wearing an Iron Man suit.
Ooh.
And in the book, there's this one stage where she gets her own suit. I actually read those few books. Tony builds her a suit, and she becomes Rescue, but she doesn't want a suit with any offensive capabilities, so she doesn't want weapons or anything and that on it.
Right.
All the tech and that's built into her suit is for defensive purposes or to actually help people, hence the name Rescue.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part about Marvel is it's, not a gender switch so much as it's creating a place for the female characters in the universe to have such significant roles as much as any of the men. Like, I especially like Scarlet Witch's introduction. I think because she's a very strong character. She's very underrated at the moment. But
she's one of the more powerful characters in the MCU. Her abilities. In the books, she actually wipes out half the mutant population.
Yeah. Let's not talk about some of the books, though. Am I right?
Yeah, am I right? The ultimate storyline where the incest between her and her brother.
I think that's the only one.
And Wolverine watching from the bushes.
That's the only storyline supplied in Tasmania, though. Tasmania jokes.
Is that what inspired your fan fiction?
Me flipping through that. Ooh, I'm the Wolverine in this situation.
But it's not just women as well. It's diversity as well. So we're getting a nice diverse cast, like Black Panther and that. Like, this is becoming an MCU show, not only just about women, but more of an MCU show as well. Obviously, there's an audience out there for Black Panther, and that movie proved it. So that movie made like $1.2 billion or whatever it was. Like, if you make a film out there, if there's an audience out there who's, not seeing themselves up on the big screen, if you make that movie, they'll turn out in droves. Hence, the other day it was just announced that Marvel are making a Shang-Chi film about an Asian kung fu.
Oh, great!
Master. He's like the most prolific fighter in the MCU. He's a better martial artist than the Iron Fist. And there's a storyline in the book where when Spider-Man, Peter Parker, loses his spider sense. Shang-Chi teaches him a lot of martial arts moves. They create like a spider style martial arts because he's lost his spider sense, so he needs to learn a bit more technique,
Yeah,
should
well,
we say.
going back to your comment about, representation on the screen, I think someone who's just become ahead of it, I know Marvel is doing a lot with Avengers at the moment, and that a lot of it is coming up to a round, it's like coming to an end. But DC doing the Birds of Prey movie.
And Wonder Woman before that.
Oh, God, Wonder Woman has to be the most fantastic movie I've seen from DC.
I said this when we did our Wonder Woman show. When I went and saw Wonder Woman, and it's a really good movie. It's really good. It kind of falls apart a bit in the final act with the big CG fight or whatever there is or whatever. But that was a movie that when I watched it, because I've seen obviously lots of superhero movies, and they're all there's Thor and there's Black Widow and there's such and Black Panther and all these superheroes, and they're all larger than life and whatever. But Wonder Woman, when I was sitting there and I was watching it in the cinema, she is the first kind of superhero, or is this the first superhero film where her kind of internal character in that came across, like when I was watching, I was like, she is a real hero. Like her kind of moral code and her ethics and that she comes across like on the screen, they get that real well, and I'm sure that's Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she's
but
definitely...
she comes across, she's a real hero.
She's a well-rounded character, I think. I mean, Batman, who's playing him, Ben Affleck, is very flat. Like, he goes, I think it's along the lines of, people have played Batman before, they know he's the dark, mysterious guy. He doesn't live up to it, he doesn't act it out. He's very flat, just moody and grumpy.
Yeah, he's very brooding.
Yeah, there's and there is that aspect of Batman, but it's not to the point of where, he's like, oh, he's doing this. It's like that. He's like that for a reason, It's like he's more just. He's like, oh, I can just get along. I can get away with this because everybody else has. They know what to expect from Batman, and like especially in the Justice League movies, which I'd watched again recently and regretted. I mean, even Barry. The Flash sucked. I mean, he was this cute, quirky little guy. He was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a superhero now. It was like, okay, great, good job. But like, it was like, I think a lot of the characters in Justice League fall flat, and Gal really saves the day. She's a hero. She's gorgeous. She's talented. She's so smart. Oh, God, I love her. I think,
the success of Wonder Woman, because the Justice League in the book, the leader of the Justice League is Superman, okay? On the success of Wonder Woman, how that came across so well, they retooled it in that to make Wonder Woman the leader of the Justice League. And if you look at all the promotion, like the posters, the DVD covers and stuff, she's the one who's front and center.
Yeah.
Like in the middle, like you've got all the characters stacked, but she's the one standing front and center. She's the leader of the Justice League.
I think that's the point, is having an actress who's able to portray a hero by being herself is the most important part. Gal in real life is amazing as well. Like, she's so fantastic. Like, you wouldn't be able to discern between her and Diana, really. And that's what I think a lot of female characters live up to. Like Ellen Ripley,
she's really
God. I think that's what the point is, if you're thinking about... God. If you're thinking about women characters... It's how their actresses are behind it, what really makes them. Like, you could put any woman into the role, but it's really depending on the one woman who is it.
And what they bring to it.
What they bring to it and how hard they work towards it.
Because, like, you can... actors, their job is to act. And they can just pick up a page and, like, this is the character, this is what they say, and they can just do it, They can just do it, and it's fine. Some of them can just, pull it off because it's effortless for them. But it takes like a lot of dedicated actors and actresses who really bring that extra something to a role, like Sigourney Weaver in Alien.
Yeah, like Sigourney Weaver's a fantastic actress, though. Everything she's in is amazing.
She's one of my favorites, to be honest. I love Sigourney Weaver. She's so fantastic in Alien, which is really kind of it is a horror film. It is a horror film, and she is the final girl. She's probably one of the first final girl. No, was it Laurie Strode? Was that 78? I think Halloween just
what about
skated
Jamie
in before.
Lee Curtis in Scream? She's still going.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis was in Halloween.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, that's what I was just... Yeah, Laurie Strode. She played Laurie Strode in Halloween. She was like one of the first final girls. Like, in that movie, she was really just a survivor.
Have you seen the new Halloween?
I have.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was one of the better movies of the year, but I didn't think it was one of the best movies of the year.
No. See, that's probably... Would you say Jamie Lee Curtis's role was the best part of it, or like one of the best parts of it?
Yeah, I really liked that aspect. I liked how it took like this one event from the first film that was 40 years earlier, and then to track across a person's life, like how this one event in one night affects a person's life so much, and where they pick up 40 years later. So obviously, if you were being hunted by a killer who killed, you know, like a few of your friends and stuff, you know, in your neighborhood, and they hunted you through your house and they're trying to kill you, and you know, they disappeared into the night at the end of it, you know, how would that affect you? Like, and she was only, in the movie, she's meant to be 16, 17 in the movie, quite young. You know, she's a babysitter. So, yeah, like, how does that affect a person? And I like kind of how they kind of represented that in the new film. And Michael as well. You know, they kind of did a few different things. Like, you know, they got rid of the whole aspect where they're brother and sister, because they brought that in Halloween 2. You know, but they got rid of that because obviously they got rid of those films. And I just kind of like the kind of dichotomy between the two there. They play it up a little bit in the film. They're like, oh, Michael survives because I believe he wants to come into a final confrontation with Laurie Strode. That's what keeps him going. That's why he won't die. That's why he can be shot and stabbed and he keeps going, because it's that final confrontation he's got to have with her. He has to kill her.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. Michael Myers just kills. He just kills. He's very narrow focused. He just moves and he kills. That's what he does. You know, there's no rhyme or reason or focus behind it. Yeah.
Does he die in the last movie? I know it's a spoiler. Just shake or nod your head. Okay. That's a very neutral response. Okay.
Because it made a lot of money and there's going to be another one.
Well, then you've just given everyone the answer. That's no spoiler. Maybe it was just easier to say no.
But the way they ended it there, it could go either way.
Yep.
But now it's made a lot of money and they've announced a sequel, so he's going to come back, obviously.
Oh, is Jamie Lee Curtis coming back?
I don't know. I don't know. We haven't heard that much yet.
I get it, you know, yeah. I mean, it makes sense if she says no, you know, man always coming back, harassing her, you know, like, I'm sick of it. It happens all the time. I've told him no. Sorry, just adding in my little bit there. Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver in Alien, she really is one of the first strong female protagonists that holds her own, kicks ass, and is a survivor. You know,
yes.
she's not helpless. You know, like Laurie Strode in Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, she's a kid. You know, she plays a younger character and stuff. She's just reacting. You know, whereas Ellen Ripley, you know, she's an older woman. She's more experienced, she's more trained, you know, she can handle herself a little bit better than, you know, a babysitter could.
I've got to say, I do love Sigourney Weaver. She's the queen of sci-fi. You can't say she isn't. Like, but then my next thing would be that Zoe Saldana is the princess.
Zoe Saldana is really good. I really like Zoe Saldana as Gamora.
Gamora, and what did you think of her character in Avatar? I thought she did well in that.
Yeah, I like Avatar. I like Avatar.
I really loved it.
I don't know if I love Avatar. I appreciate it for its the technology in that implemented and all the breakthroughs it made. But we talked about this a little while ago when the Avatar movies were announced, and I just said to Pat, I was like, does anybody actually still care about Avatar?
Yes.
Like all the advancements that have been made in those movies. I mean, when the first trailer that comes out, it's going to have to be the equivalent of the movies we were getting, and then we got the Avatar trailer. So we've got better than Avatar now.
Everything's caught up.
This Avatar 2 trailer is going to have to be groundbreaking.
Well, really, isn't it that the new Lion King, is exactly on par with the technology that was in Avatar? So they're gonna have to be way above and beyond. They better have the Na'vi walking through the fucking seats.
Yeah, and their sex hair that they have.
Oh, God.
Touch my braid.
Imagine all the fan fiction about that. God. Imagine those things being circumcised.
That's enough.
I regretted that.
Can we talk about some other strong women?
Yeah, why did I go into something else that was not female relevant?
Can we talk about Sarah Connor in Terminator 2?
Ooh, yes, because I really do enjoy the Terminator series, and I liked Sarah Connor.
I like Sarah Connor too. Like in the first film, The Terminator, she's really just, a helpless victim. Not totally helpless by the end, but, she's really just kind of out of her element. This cyborg's come back to murder her for reasons unknown, and this total stranger has come back, says he's from the future, he's come back to protect her. How do you handle that? You just go for the ride.
You're blundering.
Yeah. And she's great in that movie, but the like, again, talking about transitions, like how that impacted her in that movie to where she is in Terminator 2. She's trained, like she purposefully shacked up with men who she could learn something of. She could learn about guns.
Yeah.
She could learn about driving. She could learn about making explosives and all these other things and like how to fight and all these things. And she's a badass, tough character in that second film. Even the scene where she goes to kill Miles Dyson, she is essentially in that scene a Terminator herself, which is fucked up and a great way to spin things on its head. It's just becoming the thing that you hate so much. I'm just like, it's poetry.
What did you think of Emilia Clarke in Genesis?
I was going to talk about Emilia Clarke, actually, but not about Genesis. I was going to talk about Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, good, smart. A majority of the women in...
And off that, most of the women in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Cersei, fucking hell, she can handle herself.
Yes.
Lady Tyrell.
Yeah.
Before she chose to drink the poison off Jaime Lannister in the last season. Like, strong, manipulative women. Like, in this time, the show's kind of based in, women are kind of...
They're meant to be the side pieces. They're meant to be the looky show-off.
To be show-off, they talk to the other women and the children, and they're kind of to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Or just to bolster the man that's sitting next to them.
Yeah.
But, like, Lady Tyrell, for example, like... She's goes on, her husband's an idiot. Like, he doesn't really do anything. She's like, I run everything. I hold all the cards. I make all the decisions. Everything is on me. And she's cunning and conniving and intelligent, and she knows how to play the game. And Cersei, too, as well. Especially getting toward the last season. Like, Cersei's going off the end.
Oh, God.
Like, she's going off the bender.
They're not pawns at all. They're not, like, side characters. They are, like, game makers. They are
playing the Game of Thrones.
They are strong players. Daenerys, Cersei, Lady Stark. Oh, well, she's not Lady... Is she Lady Stark now?
Yeah,
Sansa?
yeah.
I mean, even little
Sansa's
Arya.
been through a lot in that as well. Yeah, Arya especially, yeah.
Both of the Stark daughters are beasts.
Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, Brienne of Tarth is amazing. I don't think there's any female characters that I would dislike. Like, you can't go, oh, they suck or anything like that, unless you can think of any.
And Missandei as well. Like, she just started off as a slave interpreter. And I mean, look who she is now. She's like she's not right hand, or she's not hand of the queen, but she's essentially like her almost number one confidant, best friend, Yeah. Great show. Great women in these shows and that lately. Can we go back and talk about one of the original strong television women?
Would I know her?
Yeah, you would.
Okay, let's go.
Dana Scully from the X-Files.
I'm a fool.
Dana Scully came into TV kind of at a time. It's a ridiculous show when you think about it. A basement portion of the FBI that investigates supernatural, paranormal, extraterrestrial cases, and you've got this one kooky guy who believes in all this stuff, who's chasing it all, and you've got this one level-headed doctor,
strong woman who puts up with this shit.
Strong woman, agent.
Yep.
She's an agent in the FBI, and she's there pretty much. She's put there to contradict and disprove everything that Mulder investigates
But
in
just
this
pretty
show.
much deal with this shit.
Yeah, she's just got to deal with it.
You know what's funny is that I've only ever seen one episode of the original X-Files.
I think I probably know what the episode is.
What?
You tell me what it is and I'll tell you whether you're right or not.
The Brady Bunch episode.
Not that one.
Which one did you think I was going to say?
It's in the first season. I think the episode's called Squeeze.
No.
It's about this guy who can squeeze through kind of any crack, like any small hole and stuff.
And he goes into women's bathrooms, doesn't he?
No, he goes down chimneys and he kills people and he rips open their stomachs.
I'm such a feminist. I just think they're all
and he eats their livers.
Oh, does that help him or does he just do
and then
that?
he goes in. He makes like little nests and he goes in like hibernation for X amount of years.
But saying I've only seen one episode from the original, I have seen the first movie. Is there only one? One movie or whatever it is.
There were two films.
Two films. I think I've seen
there
the
was
first.
the X-Files, the movie.
Yep.
Which was pretty much just it wasn't kind of really a standalone movie. You had to really watch the show to follow what... You could watch it, but you had to, like, if you really wanted to know the ins and outs of everything in the movie, you had to pretty much watch all the show
I think that's why I was so confused by the movie.
And there was another movie as well in the kind of early to mid-noughties, The X-Files, I Want to Believe.
Oh, maybe
which was
I've seen
really,
that one.
Yeah, it was like a episodic movie. It was pretty much just like a big budget episode, but it was a boring episode. It was like they made a big budget version of a boring episode of the X-Files.
Yeah.
Not like a cool alien one or something like that. It was this weird guy that has visions, people kidnapped. It was,
But I have seen some of the new season, not the remake, the just new season.
The continuation, season 11 and 12.
Brilliant. I fell in love with Dana Scully because that's like my first, and she was like this strong woman, like, you know, she's like done, you know, years of expertise, like, and she, so good.
I've seen season 11, but I haven't seen the new season 12, which is the final season, I believe.
It's amazing. Because they have a son, Ben, I want to say.
Yeah, they say they have a son, yeah.
And like he's an alien.
Is he? Spoilers, I didn't know that.
I'm guessing here. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Scully was impregnated, wasn't she, by aliens or something?
Something like that.
Something
and
like
she
that.
goes through a lot, and she's, like, still dealing with, like, Mulder's shit, and she's like, I've got new shit to take care of. He's like, but me! And it's like, you know, so it's really good. And I was like, well, this woman, she puts up with a lot. She must be amazing. And she is.
Quite a few years ago, it was probably about 4 years ago now, I had tonsillitis, and I had it really bad, because when you get tonsillitis, you're really bad for a week, and then you get over the worst symptoms, but it still takes you another week to really get over, like, the worst of it, just to get enough energy in that back to get back to work. Well, that's in my case, so when I get tonsillitis, I, like, kiss the next 2 weeks goodbye, because I'm out. So, like, when I got tonsillitis, I'm like, because I'm pretty much just couch-ridden the whole time, I'm just like, what am I going to do? And I just gotten, like, the X-Files on DVD.
Nice.
So all I did for that 2 weeks was binge watch the X-Files. And I think in 1 week, I probably watched about, I don't know, I probably watched about 60 episodes in 1 week.
Have you got the DVDs?
I don't have the DVDs anymore. I got rid of them, but I really do want to get the Blu-ray box set, but it's fucking really expensive.
Oh, because I was considering buying it off eBay because I really want to watch it. I want to watch all of it because I'm sure that it would be really interesting. Because I put up with like 10 seasons of Supernatural. I can definitely put up with the X-Files.
I really like Supernatural. I only ever made it to season 8.
That's all. That's how far you need to go.
Halfway
After that, it
through
goes
season
shit.
8, yeah.
After that, it's terrible. It's still going. It's like on season 15, 14?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's a lot of seasons.
What are they doing?
Making a lot of money, apparently.
No, I know, but I've got to say that's one show that's really slacked on women. I've got to say, Supernatural.
Yeah, because it's all about those wayward sons, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but like they make out, you know, I just can't think of any strong women. Like, I remember one episode.
There's like some demon women in there. Like, they're recurring demon women.
Yeah,
remember that time when they get that demon knife or whatever, and there's like a blonde-headed girl, and I think she's in Arrow now.
Elizabeth, yeah, she was like a mystic.
She came in
hunter
at
or
like
something.
season 4 or something like that.
Yeah, no,
I
she
don't know.
she collects items and sells them to hunters and stuff, and makes.
And they
good
had
money.
they had that knife, the fucking demon knife or
the-
demon killing knife.
It
or
was the
whatever
knife
it was.
of Cain because he killed his brother Abel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, because there's one episode where Dean meets this woman, typical, and she wants to have lots of unprotected sexy times with him.
Who wouldn't?
And then she's like made out to be demonized because a part of because she's a Athenian or something like that. What's the race that Wonder Woman is? Amazon. So it's kind of like that. I think they're Amazons and they need a man to reproduce to make a new woman for their tribe, but that's all they needed for. And like Dean was like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah, it was like this one episode, and Dean's like, well, this is my kid, and they're like, no, it's not. We needed you for this one thing. She's really full female. There's none of your genes. And he's like, and they like made her out to be the bad guy because she was like, I need one more woman for my tribe. Bit like dogs. That kind of ruined it for me. The show.
There's one episode that was out this year. I think it was this year or last year that I really wanted to watch. It was that they got zapped into TV. They got zapped into an episode of Scooby-Doo.
Yes, I actually wanted to see that, but that's
I was like, I want to watch that episode. There's an episode in season 4, I think, where they're on a film set or something like that.
Yeah, that
and
really
it was
meta episode.
It wasn't that one. It was the black and white episode where it was like all the monster movie characters coming to like Dracula and the Wolfman and all that stuff.
One.
But then there's the episode where they get zapped into another universe or whatever, but they play the actor versions of themselves in the Supernatural TV show, and they're like, what, my name's Jensen? Like, what? What kind of name is Jensen?
Yeah. But segueing, you've talked about Scooby-Doo. Velma and Daphne were two iconic cartoon characters for the time. Let me just go, hold on.
Can we honestly just say that Velma is the one who always solved the mysteries?
But Daphne was very helpful as well. Daphne was very smart, and there was a lot of times where she used her own cunning to like direct Fred to do stuff or to direct Shaggy and Scooby. There are a lot of times when Velma and Daphne work together and do it really well.
Daphne actually got to take center stage as kind of the lead female in, I think it's the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which was another Scooby-Doo TV series, but it was Shaggy, Scooby, Daphne, and I think Scrappy might have been there. I don't remember.
Yeah, Scrappy's got the hots for Daphne. That's why she was there. That's true.
What about Sarah Michelle Gellar in the live-action movie? And then also a Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And I was going to say, but that's Melissa Joan Hart. Sorry.
That's Sabrina the Teenage
Yeah, I was
Witch.
thinking of Sabrina. Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is amazing. Great. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is actually one of the only shows I've seen that you've referenced tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, and Spike and oh no, I've forgotten half of it now. But
he's not a girl, but
no, but I know. But like I'm just trying to reference like Willow having her as a character as well. She was, I want to say, bisexual or a lesbian by the end of the series, which was really far ahead of its time.
Yeah, she was in a gay relationship with the other girl. I forget her name in the show, but she was a witch, and I hate these shows like True Blood. I've said this before, where you have a show where they're in a small town and everybody knows everybody, and then there's vampires in the town, and that's it. And then by the end of the season, you've got a guy who's a shapeshifter. And then in the next season, there's werewolves as well. And then the season after that, there's witches. And then there's fairies. And then somebody in the series always ends up becoming someone. Like in Buffy, it was just Buffy. She was the Slayer. And then there was Seth Green or whatever. He came in and he was a werewolf. You found out he was a werewolf. And then you had Angel there, and you found out he was a vampire.
What's
and
Angel
then
been in as well? He was in his own show, wasn't he?
He had his own show.
Yeah, that's what I was
where he
remembering.
moved to, was it Chicago or something like that? No, it was L.A. It was Los Angeles, and he opened his own detective agency. It was like Angel, Vampire Detective. That's what it should have been called, Angel, Vampire Detective.
We've gone off topic. We were talking about
We're talking
Buffy.
about ladies.
Buffy. Yeah, I liked that they had this cute girl who wasn't like objecting to being feminine. You get like a lot of tough girl characters like, I'm not gonna wear a dress, I'm not gonna look pretty, yuck. And you had Sarah Michelle Gellar who was like, she was a cheerleader still, and she was like still doing all this gross gutly gross, nasty
She
stuff.
had all this responsibility dropped on her, and she just wanted to be a normal kid.
Yeah, she wanted to, I think in the end she wanted to do both, and she knew how to. Like, she was like, I can do this and this, and that still makes me good. Like, I can, I can prioritize one over the other whenever I want.
Did they rip Sailor Moon off in that show where Buffy wakes up one day and she's got a sister, and everyone's like, the whole world's changed? Didn't she have like a little sister or something like that who was the key to the Hellmouth or whatever? Because that happened in Sailor Moon. She wakes up one day and she's got a sister.
Moon.
She's got a sister who's actually her daughter. It's just weird.
Yeah, I didn't get that far into Sailor Moon, but I do know about Chibi Moon.
You know who we forgot to bring up in the MCU? I've got it written down here. Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
She had her own show.
Carter.
Agent Carter. 2 seasons. I only seen the first season. But that was a really fucking good first season of TV. Like, she's such a strong, capable, intelligent woman, but she's in a man's world of the time, and she's trying to, make herself heard, and her input's just as good, if not better than anyone else's, and she's just trying to, like, fit in after the whole Cap's gone in the ice thing. She's trying to adjust, and yeah, that was a really good fucking season of TV. I haven't seen the second season, though.
I should watch it.
She goes to LA. I want to watch it now. I really like Peggy Carter in those movies, especially the first Captain America film and that as well.
Yeah, she definitely deserved more. I'm glad she got her own TV series.
The scene with the shield, where he's got the shield after, it was Marjorie Terrell who was in the, she kissed Cap and she saw it, and he's like, hey, check out my shield, and Peggy shoots it. Peggy shoots the shield while he's holding it. He's like, damn, because she's jealous because another girl kissed him.
Yeah.
Because she fancies Cap. I don't know if you picked that up.
No, not at all. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. You would have been pretty young when you first saw that, so I just thought I'd explain it to you.
I actually still haven't seen it, so...
Really? The first Avenger?
No.
OMG.
I told you I missed a lot of the first MCU movies.
You can buy the phase boxes in set. They've got the phases, so you can...
But you know what else I could buy, Brent? Food and eat that.
You know what else you could
I could buy anything else.
Just illegally download them.
I just illegally watch them.
Or just wait for the Disney streaming service next year, because no doubt they'll be on all of those.
I'm not paying for something that's illegally free on the internet.
I've got a few more written down here, but I think we'll start to wrap it up. I want to talk about one or two more.
Yep.
You've probably never seen it, so I'm just going to go on a rant here. You can just listen. Night of the Living Dead. Now, there's been two Night films. There was the original 60s Night of the Living Dead, and then yesterday I rewatched the 1990 remake, Tom Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead, and the main female protagonist in that movie, Barbara. I don't know if you've ever heard it. They're coming to get you, Barbara. You've ever heard? No, probably never heard that. You're too young. You're too young for that. In the first film, Barbara, as depicted in that film in the 60s, she's pretty much just a helpless woman. And there are all these zombies, there are all these characters in this farmhouse, and there are zombies everywhere. And she's just this woman who just can't deal with it. She's near catatonic. She's out of it. She's hopeless. She's helpless. And she just can't deal with everything that's going on around her. And she just breaks down. They spun that on its head in the remake, because Barbara in the remake, the Tom Savini remake, which I rewatched yesterday, which is a really good movie, they've spun it on its head because Barbara starts out that way. So it plays off the same beat. So they're at the graveyard and the zombie comes and it chases her and she ends up at the farmhouse. And she meets Ben, and she's kind of losing it. She's just trying to survive. There are zombies coming at her everywhere, and she doesn't know what's going on. And she's just, and she's screaming, and she's having a hard time dealing with it. And then after they've dealt with the zombies, Ben, he sees the distress in that she's in, and he has this conversation with her, and he just says to her, he's like, look, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through right now, he's like, I need you to get it under control. He's like, I've seen what you just did, because she just killed a zombie. She got a fire poker and stabbed it through the head and killed it. And he's like, I've seen what you did over there. He's like, you can fight when you need to. And he's like, I need you to do that now. He's like, whatever you're feeling right now, he's like, I need you to fight it. And he's like, I need you to pull yourself together, because we need to get through this. And then there's this, Patricia Tallman is the actress. She just, she plays it so well. You see her go from that. She's distressed and crying, and after the conversation, she sucks it up, and she's like, okay, let's deal with it. And then as the movie progresses, she goes from kind of in the beginning helpless, victim, to the halfway point of the movie, she's got this rifle and she's bang bang, she's shooting fucking zombies, and everyone else in the house is losing it. They're like, oh, they're not dead, they're just people, because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And this zombie bursts through the front door and she shoots it through the chest, and she's like, you see, is he dead? Is he falling down? Boom, she shoots him again. Is he dead? Is he falling down? And they're like, you're losing it, girl, finish him off. And she shoots him in the head. And she's the only survivor at the end of the movie.
Oh.
And she goes through, she's like this fully capable warrior woman at the end of the movie. She can handle the situation. She survived the night. And yeah, it was really well done in that movie. Because in the first movie, it's just like of the time, it's just this woman just like, you're just waiting for the scene for him to grab her and slap her in the face and like, pull yourself together, woman, knock her out of it.
That reminds me of, and you're going to need to help me here because apparently I've lost half my brain cells. Zombies. Umbrella Corp, Raccoon City.
Resident Evil.
Thank you. Yeah, Resident Evil. The main protagonist in that, the heroine. What's her name?
Millie Jovovich is the actress, and she plays Alice.
Alice. And how amazing is Alice going from like
badass.
Memory loss and like confusion to like just be like, okay, I'm here to kill zombies. Cool. Done. You know, everything. It's
in 2002, I was looking forward to that movie. Pat and Bob and I were all in college. And I was looking forward to that movie. Wow, there you go. And I watched that movie, and at the time, for a 16-year-old guy, that was my favorite movie ever for like a year.
Oh, I wonder why.
It was just
it was
just awesome. It was an awesome kick-ass zombie movie for a 16-year-old. And yeah, like at the beginning of that movie, she goes from like total memory loss, and it's kind of the same thing. She doesn't know what's going on. She's kind of helpless in the beginning, but then as she gradually starts to get her memory back, like the effects of the gas and that start to wear her off, she starts to remember her fighting skills and her training. By the end of the movie, she's taking on zombies and lickers and blowing shit up.
I actually don't mind the Resident Evil series.
It's being rebooted next year.
Oh, is it? Did you like the cartoon one? I vaguely remember it.
Oh, the CG movies?
Yeah.
There was a few of them, actually. There was Degeneration and Resident Evil Vendetta. I actually had Jill Valentine written down on my bit of paper, but this is a video game, Jill Valentine, because the first Resident Evil I played was Resident Evil 3, and she was the main character in that. And, like, it was probably the first game I ever really played as a woman, and it was, what was this, like, 97?
Yeah.
So, like, I was playing as a woman, like, in this game, and she was capable, and I'm running around, and I'm shooting zombies, and I'm being stalked by this super fucking monster. It's in the second movie, the Nemesis.
Yeah.
And I'm being stalked by the Nemesis through the whole movie, and it mutates into this giant fucking dog, horrible creature at the end.
Gross.
And there's a scene at the end where you charge up this railgun and you shoot it, and it's down on the ground, but it's like, it's still crawling towards you. And she pulls out the Magnum, and she's just like, bang, bang, bang. And she's just like, you want stars? I'll give you stars. And then she bang, and she shoots it, and she kills it. And it's fucking totally badass. And she's in the first game as well, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She's in a lot of other games. She comes back as a villain in Resident Evil. Is it 5?
Oh, is that a shame for you to see, or is it understandable?
No, because she's kind of brainwashed.
Oh,
they did it
I
in the
see.
movie as well. Jill's in one of the later movies, and she's got the big scarab fucking gem thing on her chest.
Oh, yeah,
which
right.
is brainwashed. That's literally straight out of the game. She's wearing like a purple catsuit, and she's got this big scarab jewel thing attached to her chest, which is brainwashing her. That's straight out of one of the games.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who's your last female?
I've got a couple here. Can I talk about Battlestar Galactica? And can I talk about Kara Starbuck Thrace? Played by, what's her name? Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, okay, yep. I don't know, I've never seen it.
That role was a big, it was a gender switch, because in the original 70s TV show, Starbuck was actually a male pilot.
Oh.
And for the 2004 remake, they did the miniseries, and then off the success of that, they did a TV show. You know, they flipped it on its head, and they made Starbuck a woman.
Yeah.
Such a flawed character, like ego through the roof, you know, putting up a brave front and stuff, but a really strong, capable character in that as well.
But doesn't make it interesting that instead of having this compliant and like normal character of women, you're like, you know, your old Mary Sue who's got the same personality.
Oh, she's the complete opposite in the show. Like, she gambles and that in the show. She's
like, doesn't it make it interesting? Like, you're seeing a woman, you're like, whoa. I don't really, you know, I haven't seen women act like that in TV shows. Like, it made it something different, something good, or...
I think it's the first episode, she's playing their equivalent of poker in the show. And the number two of the ship comes in. He's kind of an asshole. And they're sitting there having a conversation, kind of just joking back and forward. And then he makes this because she's real insubordinate and shit. And he makes this remark at her, which she doesn't like. And then she grabs him and she punches him.
Perfect.
She throttles like the number two on the ship.
She sounds like my favorite character ever.
You should watch Battlestar Galactica.
I probably
it's a really
should.
fucking good show.
I have one more, which I know is a very divided opinion, but Rey from
Star Wars.
And
Totally.
And also Princess Leia. I mean, or General Organa.
You can't go past Leia.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
in Star Wars, I mean, she's holding her own. Like, when when Luke and Han and Chewie are breaking her out of the prison lockup and that, like, Luke's there, he's kind of hopeless, he's not doing anything, and Leia's the one who grabs the blaster and starts firing back.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think the Star Wars series, truly, like, Star Wars and its, like, TV show, you know, the one... Who was,
Ahsoka?
Yes.
Ahsoka Tano?
Yes. I mean, like, how you can't get past the, like, great characters that are Rey, Ahsoka, and, like, I didn't say that right, but... Ahsoka. And, like, Leia. Like, honestly, they're all fantastic. I really enjoy... Like, I know a lot of people didn't enjoy the new Star Wars movies. I didn't like Rogue One, but I really liked A New Hope. Like,
I liked Jyn Erso in Rogue One.
Oh, Jin's fantastic. I have nothing against her character. It was just the movie. But yeah, she's cool. I think it's great.
I like Jyn in that movie. Like, not like... it's not the perfect film, but yeah, it is a serviceable Star Wars movie. And yeah, I quite like that movie, and I like that character.
Yeah, I don't think Star Wars does too badly with female characters.
No, I think Rey... Her transition, like, from The Force Awakens into The Last Jedi, I think it's a pretty great transition.
Did I say A New Hope? I did.
Oh, well, A New Hope's one of them. Leia's in A New Hope.
Yeah, great. That's what I meant.
And you could kind of say Padme in the prequels.
Course, yeah.
I mean, she's a queen in the first movie, and in the second one, she's not the queen anymore. She's the whatever it is, a queen regent or whatever the bloody is, a former queen in the Star Wars universe. And they have she goes into battle with the rest of the guys in that movie. Not so much in the third one, because she's just pining after Anakin and the whole Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Who's Rose? I like Rose.
Yeah, Rose was great.
I think it was you didn't need a strong, super serious character. I think it was nice having this cute girl who was useful. She was smart and, like, very, very, like, I think she made scenes. Like, she did really well. She got
especially that first scene where, like, she's emotional after her sister's died, and that great comedy bit where, like, I'm here, like, stunning, like, deserters and shit, and she's like, what are you doing checking out that escape pod? He's like, oh, I'm just checking it. You know, and then she stuns him and drags him off.
She made great scenes for Finn. I think she really built him up as a character. Like, she helped. She was good. I like, they haven't gone wrong. Star Wars hasn't done too bad. I mean, sexy slave Leia was probably about the worst thing they've done, and even then that was still empowering, and, like, she wasn't fan service, really.
No, not really. It was kind of... It's like now in the day and age we're in now, it's kind of a slippery slope with slave Leia. Like, at the time, it was just kind of like that scene in, like, Jabba's palace and, like, the whole slave Leia and that. It all feels kind of very it's almost like a fantasy movie. It's almost like a Conan the Barbarian kind of thing. Yeah. It's like, let's take this scene from Conan and we'll just transfix it into Star Wars and just make it the sci-fi version of that.
But I like
that's kind of what it feels like to me. Like, when I watch that scene, like the whole in Jabba's palace and that, you've got all these strange and odd characters and that. It kind of just feels like like a fantasy. Like a swords and sorcery kind of movie. I still
liked that, even though...
Which is now they just made a laser swords and sorcery.
She was very dressed down. It was like, it wasn't like out of character. Like, it wasn't out of nowhere. You were like, oh, what the fuck? Why is she dressed like this all of a sudden? It was like, I was like, oh, he's dressed her like this to make her sexy, you know, for him. Like, it wasn't like, hey guys, here you go.
It wasn't like...
Naked Leia.
It wasn't intentional. Like, you couldn't say it wasn't intentional. Other than, like, have you seen the second Star Trek movie, Into Darkness?
I haven't seen Star Trek.
Okay, there's this scene.
Sorry.
There's this scene where Alice, Eve, and Kirk go to get on this shuttle, and they're going to change into their shuttle clothes, and just for whatever reason, in the context of the film, she goes to get changed. She tells Kirk to turn around. She's like, turn around, and you hear her, like, unzipping, and then Kirk kind of double takes and turns around. And then there's just, like, this gratuitous shot of Alice Eve just standing there in her underwear. And she's like, what? Turn around, now. And then that's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
There's this gratuitous shot of her standing in her blue, bra and knickers. And it's just like, really?
Yeah.
Guys, that's a bit out of place for Star Trek.
But like with Star Wars, that made sense with Leia being dressed down like that, you know? Like, that's what I mean. You get scenes
and
like
they're on a fucking desert planet. It's real hot. It's really hot.
That's the point. You, like, see some female characters and you're like, why are you naked right now? I mean, you're like, who did this to you?
It's like in the 80s, like, what's popular? Let's do a kung fu movie, and how are we going to get people to watch this movie? Let's have hot girls and let's have boobs, like lots of boobs.
Yeah, like Emilia Clarke. Was it season 2 or 3 where everything burns down, she walks out naked? She said she hated that. She said she changed her contract after that. She's never going to do it again because she thought it wasn't relevant.
I think, let me just correct you there.
Okay.
Up until that point, she had changed the contract because she didn't want to do nude scenes and that anymore. She's like, I've done nude scenes enough. Like, there's like with Drogo and that, like the rape scene or whatever in the first season, like after they get married. It's not, like, in the books, I think it's a rape scene, but it's a little more downplayed in the show, but it's still pretty
bad,
yeah. But I think it got to that point and they wanted to do that. And I think I read that she realized, like, what an empowering moment it would be for her. So in the context of that one scene, after she burns down the Carl's hut with all the other Carls and that in it, she burns it down and she's the only one that walks out. She is naked, yes, but she did agree to do it because of in the context of, like, the character and whatever, and like how empowering it is for her to be like that. Yeah,
I get it, but having her, like, lily whited skin, so, like, everything's clear. Like, she would have been ashy as shit. Like, she wouldn't have been burnt, but she would have been fucking ashy. Like, she would have been dark. You wouldn't have been able to see, like, discernibly everything. Like,
but it is a fantasy TV show with dragons as well. I'm not defending it. I'm not defending it.
Ash
but
doesn't exist in the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah,
that's why
even though you got dragons that breathe fire and turn everything to fucking ash.
Yeah, but yeah, that was like the one thing I thought of. But other than that, Game of Thrones does well. Star Wars does well. A lot of sci-fi, especially these days, doesn't do badly at all with female characters like it.
Like Ex Machina, for example, with Alicia Vikander. She's fantastic in that movie. And then you find out, spoilers, that by the end of the movie, she's played the guys through the entire movie. Like, this guy creates this artificial intelligence, and like in the form of this woman, Alicia Vikander, but she's all kind of like robot-y, your head see-through, and you see all electricity and sparks and shit.
Yeah.
And he brings this guy in to do a Turing test to find out if she's actually truly aware, if she's like this artificial intelligence that he's created is truly aware of itself and is sentient. And then it turns out that she plays these two guys through the entire movie because she wants to escape, because she's confined in this house.
This is the one with Isaac thingy in it, right?
Yeah.
I've actually seen this movie.
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
Yeah. I've actually seen it. Sorry, I can contribute. Yeah, no, I do love it how she plays this clueless learning robot, but the entire time
she knows exactly what's going on. She's switched on because she's a robot. But I'm Tish.
Yeah, no, that's
a great movie.
I think it's
one of the best movies of the last few years, to be honest.
It's very, I don't know. I from my point of view,
and that dancing scene with Oscar Isaac and that beard,
it exacts revenge perfectly because she's like dressed down, like, you know, she's this shy, caring. Oscar Isaac's character kind of plays on that, you know, it's kind of a preying kind of thing. He wants to exert power over her, and he wants someone lesser than him to be able to see if he can contribute to that kind of level first. And then in the end, she's, you know, the strongest out of all of them. That is so fucking good to watch. It was
and
like,
I just love that kind of cherry on top at the end where she doesn't kill Domhnall Gleeson, she just locks him in the room where he can't get out, where she was locked.
So he's still kind of being killed.
Yeah, he's still like slowly being killed, but she
Yeah.
doesn't kill him straight away.
I feel
She just
bad
locks
for
him in the room.
He didn't know. Did he?
Yeah, but
Did he
at the
know
same
in
time,
end? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was a good movie. I think it's I like seeing things where women in the end, I don't know, not so win. I'm not
They best all those fucking
I'm not a
men.
raging feminist where it's like, yeah, they killed all the men and the women were on top. Yeah, no. But like, I like seeing the power play of where you see not a stereotype, but a stereotype that used to be of men who are on top, needed to be in power and stuff like that, which does happen today. Hashtag not all men, but like, you know, you get what I mean, Brent?
Yes, you
From
you raging feminist.
Politics. She's bringing too much drama to the table. Typical woman.
Typical bloody woman.
They'll probably be thinking back going, didn't she say sexism was okay in that first podcast of hers?
Yeah, someone's going to go back and check that now.
No, I remember it quite distinctly. I was like, yeah, sexism's okay. And you guys were like, whoa. I was like, it's fine. I can say it because I'm a woman. Yeah, no, they're going to be like, oh, make your mind up. Choose one. I'm like,
What's
okay.
with this fucking woman on the
Yeah.
show?
God,
Jesus.
women, they can't make their minds up. She's not a beard. She doesn't have a beard. She's not geeky. God, pick one. Get her off, Brent. What's she doing here?
That was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Which bit?
The conversation we just had.
Oh, where I...
Not the raging feminist, the whole thing. I'm wrapping it up.
Oh, I see. Is this the end?
That is the end.
Okay, I'm
We're
done.
gonna wrap it up.
All right, I'll exert this energy somewhere else. I'll burn a bra or something.
That was good. I like how we can have a grown-up conversation without Russell chiming in every 4.5 seconds.
I realised I could be serious. Like, I can actually have a conversation about
Yeah,
stuff.
like you're not just constantly replying to Russell.
Oh, I know. Do you feel included now, Brent, that I've spoken directly to you the entire time?
I feel very included. I've just had a great conversation with a raging feminist.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. So with Russell, is it like, you know, he's just talking to himself? You're still not included then?
I don't know. He's listening to this right now and he's giggling his ass off. He's like, they're talking about me. I love attention.
I can't wait for him to message me as soon as he's listened to this bit. Hi, Russell. That's my response to you. I'm gonna ignore your message.
I can't wait to go home and watch cricket.
Yeah, cricket. Maybe for his sake, I'll ha his message.
I think I did upset him this morning when I made the crack about cricket.
Cricket
Cricket
sucks.
No one cares about cricket, Russell.
Brent and I, being the feminists we are, we just watch women's cricket.
I am a raging feminist.
We're raging feminists.
I'm an honorary raging feminist now.
You're welcome. There's a badge for you later.
If you want to find us online, you know where to go. You know where to go to all the places. This is our third last show of the year. Next week should be Into the Spider-Verse, and the week after that, we're going to do our Best of 2018 episode. And then, I haven't actually looked at the calendar yet, so where all those days fall, but I got to work out how much time we're taking off. It'll be a couple of weeks. But then we'll be back in the new year for our, definitely, Red Dead Redemption 2 show, which will be in the new year.
Woo!
We've finished it. We're just waiting to play a bit of multiplayer and stuff. Played a little bit of the beta and that. But yeah, we're going to get to it. Don't worry. When we know and we do it, you'll know. So, whatever. Iona, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for coming in, Brent.
I live here, so I didn't have to go far.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks very much.
That's it.
We're all raging feminists. Women rock. Go see
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. Lion King should be fun.
Go see all the women movies.
Go see all the women movies.
All of them.
And get Ex Machina, even though we spoiled the whole thing for you. It's a really fucking great, heady sci-fi movie. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Woo!
Woo!